I'm Mark. This is Mitch from DAMNDOGS. We're sitting here in the park there where they make friends.
Yeah, friends intro.
We're trying to make friends here. No one's interested.
I imagine though you've been in New York enough now that you have made friends in this part of the world.
Yeah, we've got friends here. You've got plenty of friends here. I suppose that there's lots of Aussies here all the time. But you've been here a bunch.
Yeah. I've come here a lot, and it's always exciting. You know, it doesn't matter how many times you've been here. It's always an incredible place to come and hang out.
It seems to be a place where quite a few Aussie musicians have moved. I mean, like Katie Steele and Paul Dempsey have both relocated over here, and obviously Chris is in LA. What do you think is a draw for a musician? I mean, you hear about Berlin and Paris, but America seems like less often the option that people take. Why do you think it does attract the Australian musicians that it does?
That's an interesting question. I just think it's you're walking in the street, it's the energy, is that what you can say?
I was going to say it's the epicenter. You just feel, I don't know, it just feels alive. There's lots of, there's also a lot of people doing, playing music here, but not that that's something that would draw you. But I don't know, it's just exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting, yeah.
And
That's what you said. You said.
And when it comes to LA, you're spending a lot more time there. I know both of you are still based in Melbourne, you were saying. How has LA treated DAMNDOGS?
LA's treated DAMNDOGS really well. That's sort of been our home base in terms of the band. So, but LA's great for us because obviously Chris is there, so we get to hang out with him and at his house, which is cool. But we played our first show was in LA as well. I think that Chris and I did some work really early on when we didn't know what this was going to be, when we did some demos in LA, so it's kind of like home base, I suppose.
And the EP was finally released in August.
Yep.
Some of those tracks go back quite a while. I remember hearing early demos almost years ago. How far back does this material go?
Well, I thought when you went away to Morocco with Chris, yeah?
That's right, yeah. So I suppose there's a couple of songs that go back a long way, as you say, and were formed a long time ago, those demo sessions that I was talking about. But there's a couple of new ones as well. So they're probably a couple of years. I mean, a few years ago was when the concept of the DAMNDOGS started, and it was just that, and then it sort of progressed from there, I suppose. Yeah.
And from a performance level, I saw it at the Oxford Art Factory, and it was quite a theatrical performance, but with the lights and just the kind of demeanour of everyone. Is that kind of part of the aesthetic of what you're going for, or is that just me?
I mean, we're trying to bring a show, like we want it to be. I mean, even at a small thing like Oxford Arts Factory, we want it to be a show. We don't want it to be sort of.
Yeah, we definitely took the time to make sure that it looks great, with the lights and the backing. We took the time to organise that ourselves. Yeah, definitely.
And when it comes to the EP, now that it is out, how are you feeling that it's out? Are people now being more receptive to the music?
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of like sort of released it in a kind of a soft release where we didn't really push it. We just sort of put it out there, and so it's been interesting to see the process. It's really different to any other way I've done it before.
Yeah, it's another step in just organically growing this thing that we're loving, but it's all about looking to the future, and that's just another step. So we just can't wait to do a whole record and get stuck in with all our new ideas, and the next year I feel stepping on from this is going to be really good.
And so you believe full length, we'll be hearing it next year?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
When it comes to your experiences as rock musicians over your career, how much of that experience influenced what you ended up doing with this project in terms of the direction you took with it and how you went about releasing the music?
The process, just doing it all ourselves, I think was important because we wanted to. me anyway, you go for so long with people doing things for you, you forget you lose a little bit of touch with everything you're doing, and it's nice to have that sort of, not control, like to be, it's not about being like in control, it's just like knowing the steps and knowing exactly how it's working and knowing what you do, like exactly what you're doing is important, for me anyway.
And when it comes to America being sort of the focus, is there almost this conceived notion of what it means to succeed in America in terms of?
No, I don't think so. I think the reason that it's a focus is because it can be, because there's so many more people here. Like, you can't just play in Melbourne every day, you know, like, or Sydney, you know, play Melbourne, play Australia. You can kind of do that in a week, because, you know, you can't just, you overdo it there, but here you don't, because there's so many more people, so many more venues. You play in a different neighbourhood, it's like doing another city, you know. Whereas if you play in Melbourne, you're playing in Melbourne every weekend. I don't know. It's good for getting like a following together, but at the moment we're just trying to do sort of just experimenting and stuff, figuring out how to do the live show properly. And
There does seem to be this trend of when bands come to America and they get successful, they get even more successful back home. Did you find that?
well, this band hasn't had any success yet because it's brand new. You know, like it's totally fresh. You know? Yeah. So we don't know.
Yeah. We did the shows in July.
Yep.
Will you be coming back to Australia?
Yeah, we're doing Homebake. We just got announced on Homebake, so
Yeah, so we're back in December and playing a couple of shows.
yeah. Oh, we're doing a bunch of shows around that as well.
So we can't wait. We're yet to know like that sort of coming back from overseas or playing shows like the CMJ now. Or, that's the stuff that what it would be like coming back. But
It's also nice to figure out what you're doing when you're not in front of people you know. You know,
Yeah.
like you can kind of like hone your craft a little bit more and not be like, oh, there's my friends in the crowd. You know, like it's nice to sort of, you can be a bit sort of anonymous, I guess, and work things out without, you know, it's like not doing it in front of people.
Well, we look forward to seeing you at Homebake and back in Australia.
Thank you.
And but for now, I mean, you can't complain about this.
exactly, I agree.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thanks, man.
Me and
Thanks,
Mitch are going to go catch up with all the gang. Joey. Who are the other friends? From Friends? I don't know it. I hate it. Who are the people from Friends?